All right, y'all, today we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business. Going to see for its local search, see for its city search if either of them, any of them, got BSS. So we're back here in the GBC universe, where we take declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, pin video, home video, wherever. Now, this is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got full spectrum intent capture here in white, highest intent people up above on the, over here on the left. And this is for Google search, social search, social media search, people looking for boudoir photo shoots in our city right now. These are the highest peeps way over on the left. So we talk about here, BSS. And then over on the right, we got the lowest intent people. They are actually people that ain't searching for boudoir right now and actually may not even know what boudoir is. But this is the largest volume of people that will actually exist. So that's our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. We're talking about BLCS over there. And that is currently we only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So today we're, all these videos here talking about BSS. Now BSS is boudoir search sameness. That's when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. So at 0 slots, that's bad, no bueno. 0 slots on page 1 is terrible in page 2 or deeper because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. They're literally page 1 and done searches. So for approximately 80% of the market, we got to be, those are who we care about. We got to maximize getting in front of those people and getting, because that's 80% of the market. That's the bulk of the market. 1 slot on page 1 Google, also not enough because we're still invisible. We're not standing out. We're looking the same as everyone else. And actually, when a buyer is going down and search and basically clicking on everyone's link, we're being price shopped against, well, there's 10 slots. We got 1, a maximum 9 other boudoir photographers. So we're literally being price shopped against everyone else on the page, open up everyone's website, doing everyone's contact forms, and we're getting price shopped to death because we're not standing out. We're looking the same as everyone else. Now, 0-1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. Common, not normal. Accepted and common, but no, not normal. And this is actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which basically everyone knows about, and the false belief of page 1 equality, which basically nobody knows about. So market saturation, that's when it seems like every week when someone gets a new iPhone, they're also throwing up the Google My Business profile and a website saying they now shoot boudoir. Or someone gets a new camera, they're posting the mom groups, they now shoot boudoir. And that's market saturation. Again, mostly everyone knows that. And a big flood of market saturation occurred. And when COVID happened, people lost their jobs, they still needed money. Everyone's got a phone with a great camera, so kind of easy to throw up. They already got the gear. It's easy to throw up that we now offer boudoir photo shoots. And then we got the second thing, which is new, is very few people know about, is the false belief of page 1 equality. So the false belief of page 1 equality is seems natural that boudoir photographers, everyone kind of assumes that every boudoir photographer is either 0-1 slots on page 1 of Google. And no, that is not correct. Incorrect. Google will actually give us as many slots on page 1 as we want to put in the effort to take. And I know that because I've gone from 0 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 to 9 out of 10 slots on Google page 1 in only 10 days utilizing this new solution we invented. And no ad spend. Google ads only literally gets you, PPC ads only like 1 slot extra on the page. We're looking to take as many as possible. So falsely page 1 inequality, that's where we're like, all right, we got, we got our 1 website ranked page 1 on Google. We are, but market got saturated, pushed us off to page 2. Oh, that's simply what happens when market gets saturated. We lost our slot. Now we're invisible. Approximately 80% of searchers are no longer seeing us. So that's simply how it is. And not even knowing that we can take as many slots on page 1 as we want. So we aren't even looking for solutions. It's kind of this false belief page 1 equality is kind of like a mental box or a mental cage that People got to break through first to even see if there are solutions that can help, solve or alleviate um, the biggest problem with getting clients. And next, we know that boudoir photographer with BSS boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer, a DBP. So we're getting our micro universe set up here. DBP with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page one equality. But thankfully, we now have a solution. BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And it works exactly as the word says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. So we always show up there on social. And then when we, when we actually get a ton of saturation there, it's kind of the backside of the Andes Mountains, kind of these small streams flowing into small rivers, all on social search. Those eventually flow into the big Amazon River. That's like flowing. Those eventually flow into page one of Google if we saturate social search page one enough. So this is the magic of S-cubed methodology. And S-cubed methodology is literally the only thing I've seen, other than brand, which takes 5 to 10 years to actually pay off or give the results we're going to talk about right now. S-cubed methodology is the only thing that I've seen that can successfully fight back against market saturation and allow the photography business to continue to grow, or has the highest chance to continue to grow in the face of market saturation. And this all occurs relatively quickly, not 5 to 10 years like actually building a brand. So imagine we got 1 million boudoir photographers in Minneapolis, St. Paul, Minnesota. And when we, everyone's got their website fighting for, page slots on page one Google, then basically we got massive competition going on page one, and we decide, okay, we got to do S-cubed methodology to the maximum. So we do that. We get the first 300 slots across all social search and Google. And as a result, anytime any buyer in Minneapolis, St. Paul searches for boudoir photography, a high intent keyword, then we're basically the only person that's showing up on any search platform, kind of anywhere they look, or Google, taking the first 300 slots. And it's literally like, it's 10 organic slots per page on Google. It means buyers would literally have to go to like page 31 to actually essentially find any of our competitors. And we already know approximately 80% of searches ain't never going on. They ain't never even hit page 2. So who the heck is hitting page 31? And so whose business is growing in this situation? If we got, the first 300 slots across anywhere any boudoir buyer looks, obviously our business will be the one growing. And everyone's also be disappearing, shrinking, vanishing. So, again, this is S-cubed methodology to the max. What's the probability that we actually get those 300? Who knows? But S-cubed methodology is the only thing that I've seen that gives a non-zero chance of achieving that. And so that's what I'm saying. S-cubed methodology is the only thing I've seen that can successfully fight back against market saturation and actually, allow boudoir photographer to increase market share during this time. Now, once we have S-cubed methodology, we now have page one visibility, P1V. And, obviously the initial benefit of utilizing S-cubed methodology is getting more slots on page one, but we get the second benefit, initial benefit, which is kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. Yeah, so every slot we take, we're kicking a competing boudoir photographer off. They're on page two, and we also already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page two. So they're being hidden from 80% of the market. They're only getting 20% even viewing. And so they'll be disappearing soon enough. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, BSV. This is where we want. That's where I recommended minimum of 3 out of 10. Basically 3 out of 10 page one slots comes from. And basically, if we got 3 out of 10 slots on page one, we're definitely going to be showing up more amazingly than everyone else with 1 slot, and even those with 2 slots, and way higher. And that 2 slots is extremely rare, anyways. So we're basically going to be dominating essentially every other boudoir photographer in essentially every other situation. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSV boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and page one equality, or the false belief of page one equality, because people didn't even know a solution like this could exist to take as many page one slots as we wanted. We now do have the solution though. Thank the universe SQ'd methodology, we achieve page one visibility, become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. Now here's the results I've gotten myself using SQ'd methodology. I wanted to rank for the term BLCS boudoir, so I utilized SQ'd methodology. So going down here to the organic slots. We got organic slot 1, us. Organic slot 2, us. 3, us. 4, us. 5, us. 6, us. 7, us. 8, us. And 10, us. So we went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search in only 10 days. So these are the results that I got utilizing SQ'd methodology. Now the main event here, we're going to check out this boudoir photography business, check out its local search, city search, see if we got any BSS, see if we're in the GBC recommended minimums. All right, so we're going to Henderson, Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, let's see, Henderson, Nevada. All right, so let's see what we got. Nope. Nope. All right, we got 0 out of 10 for Henderson, Nevada, so we got BSS there. And now we're going to Las Vegas. All right, let's go. All right, so let's check this. All right, we got one. There we go. Boom, we got one. All right, so we got 1 out of 10. All right, so going back to our. All right, so local search Henderson. What's that? Is that part of Las Vegas? I believe that's my best guess. So we're at 0 out of 10 slots there. So we got BSS. We're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. Las Vegas, we got 1 out of 10. So we still do have BSS with the search sameness. And we also are not meeting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've actually done your local searches, your city searches for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you have seen you got BSS for at least one of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search for at least one of those searches, and you've accepted that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. So like, man, yeah, we actually can take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want. And so you kind of broke through the mental barrier, and you're seeing, wow, SQ methodology, that's the solution I need. That's what I've been waiting for. It's the solution for me. And you're liking the initial benefits, yeah, more slots for you, page 1 Google search, and then obviously you also like kicking your competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively rendering them invisible to approximately 80% of the market, or approximately 80% of buyers. That's a good strategic move. And you understand market saturation, yeah, more peeps become boudoir photographers over time, and it's because people upgrade their gear. But you're also remembering back in COVID, what happened? A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people still need to earn money. Everyone's got a superpowered smartphone with an ultra camera. So a ton of new boudoir photographers enter the market. Increased supply, more sellers for the same number of buyers, harder for every single seller. And now you're seeing AI taking more people's jobs. And you're actually seeing that more peeps will, AI is only simply going to get better and better over time. We're going to take more and more people's jobs over time. It's like, people upgrading their gear, become boudoir photographers, and people, on top of that, way more people actually losing their jobs due to AI. Going to be coming in being boudoir photographers on top of all that, the people upgrading their gear. So you're realizing it's not just simply about getting page 1 links and kicking competitors off page 1. You actually need to fortify your position. Like literally have page 1 backup links. We got so many links that you've already taken up basically all the slots you can on page 1, that all the other links that could be ranking on page 1, Google actually puts them, page 2, page 3, page 4, kind of like backlog of links that are page 1 worthy. So then you can essentially prevent all current boudoir photographer competitors from ever ranking on page 1, and also essentially prevent all the future boudoir photographers from ever future boudoir photographers actually come through AI taking their job from ever ranking on page one. So you understand you got to fortify your position, like fortifying the levees down in New Orleans, Louisiana, because that city's actually below sea level, so they got to fortify the levees against the ocean. And you're saying, okay, how do we get all these links? And you're saying, okay, SQ methodology, got it. That's fortification. That's a benefit SQ methodology gives as well. And you want to achieve page one visibility in order to become a visible boudoir photographer, to achieve boudoir search visibility, because you need these things on your path to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you are also understanding kind of the future benefits of SQ methodology, where all these all the social search saturation we're doing for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. You're understanding that we're basically building like these invisible thematic keyword columns, plugging them into your brand, your business name, your website name, your personal name, your social media handles. And every day we build these up by successfully executing SQ methodology. We're actually increasing the probability in two places, that we show up in two places. The first one here, AI overview. Most premium placement in Google search, #1 organic slot here, cannot buy this with ads. And we're also increasing the probability of being shown in AI search apps. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini, increasing the probability of showing up there every day. And that's important because AI search is growing every day while Google standard search is declining every single day. And you know that AI search is important. So these two benefits, AI overview, AI search, SQ methodology gives these, because it's exactly what we're doing, building the invisible thematic keywords columns. It's kind of like back-end AI keyword mindshare. That's kind of momentum. That's exactly what it is. So every day we do it. Success of SQ methodology, we're increasing the probability of showing up here. And I remember the last time I searched for boudoir photographers in a city with an AI app, it was with ChatGPT. It gave me 3. But I went to then look manually, Google standard search, Facebook search, and dude, there's like 60. It's like, man, we gotta get in on these AI slots any way possible. And that's SQ methodology is the greatest, best way that I've ever seen that enables the highest probability for a boudoir photographer to achieve that. And you also like feature benefits, yeah, can help build a brand approximately 8x faster than standard methods. And you also understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. And so you like getting all these benefits, and also you like being able to prevent your competitors from getting these benefits, so you can actually build up massive link war chest, link ranking, and link kind of back-end AI keyword mindshare momentum. Massive gap between you and your competitors to basically make it so that that gap can be made so big that basically nobody can, no current competitor could essentially catch you, and no future competitor that actually comes from AI taking their job to basically ever catch you. You also, and that's why you decided to be first mover, because you want all these benefits and to prevent your competitors from getting all these benefits. They let that gap, because you understand the converse. The converse is actually that one of your competitors in your city signs on with me first. We're putting their links, page 1 Google search. You're getting pushed off. You're on page 2 or 3 or somewhere deeper invisible to approximately 80% of the market or more. We're fortifying their page 1 links in Google search so that essentially you'll never be able to rank on page 1 again as long as we keep executing. We're building out the backend AI keyword mindshare momentum, and make it a super large gap between your competitor and you. And you're realizing to compete, you'd actually have to rederive SQ methodology, which, derive it for the first time, and you would never actually know if you've derived it correctly. 100%, you'd never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. And then you'd have to go execute it every single day, same as us. But if you did both those things, the gap me and your competitor have already have ahead of you, it would be the same distance. You'd be maintaining the size of that gap. So to make any headway, close that gap, you'd actually have to outwork us like 2 to 3x every single day. And if you did that, well, then first of all, you wouldn't be 100% confident you've derived the strategy correctly. So it'd be hard to even put in 2 to 3x the time every single day. And then you'd be sitting there like, well, screw this. Who's got 80 hours to do all this stuff, all this work every single day? So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed right now. The hospital is currently closed to new patients. But when the hospital does open for new patients, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S-cubed methodology.